to AS&MT Investigates, the YouTube channel. In today's video, we're going to be talking about the case of Maura Murray. It is a truly mysterious and haunting case, and one of the most chilling in U.S. history. Real quick though, before we start the video, guys, make sure you guys like and subscribe to this video and look at the other videos on the channel, as there's going to be more individual videos on some of these cases. Also, make sure you follow and keep an up-to-date with the AS&MT Investigates, the podcast, which is exclusively on Spotify and soon to be on Apple as well. Go catch it. New episodes drop every couple of days, and there might be a longer version of this case on Spotify already, but yeah. And it's basically a podcast where me and Joe break down and discuss true crime cases in a longer way. Let's get into the case of Maura Murray. So, just about Maura Murray, she was born on May 4th, 1932, in New Hampton, Massachusetts. She was the youngest of 4 siblings and had good relationships with all of her siblings and family. But her parents were divorced. She attended Whitman Houston High School and was an exceptional star student, and I was on the track team, and even I think her father was the coach of the track team. She had many friends and was described as being a nice, social, and happy kid. And was also 21 when she went missing, and when all this would go down. She was described as just a perfect child. Now, after high school, she was accepted into the U.S. Military Academy at West Point, which was a hard school to get into. So, because she was so exceptional, she was able to get into the school. At the Military Academy of West Point, she was in the chemistry program, which was again another hard program to get into, and she was definitely trying to go her career-wise to do something science-related. However, though her behavior started to shift and change, and she started to act very rebellious, leading into her to get kicked out of the school, and this would all happen in the latter half of 2002. Now, eventually, her family is very sad about the transfer, because she is transferred to University of Massachusetts, where she's going to study nursing. And like I said, her family was very sad about the transfer, but they're happy that she's back in school and she's doing something for herself. Now, Maura when she moved to this school in Massachusetts, she got a new group of friends. She got a full day of classes, got a boyfriend, but however, though, her and this boyfriend had a very toxic relationship. And she even got a part-time job at an art gallery to be a guard or like all around like security, and she even got her own dorm. However, though, not long into being in this college, the bad behavior would start again, and she would actually even get in 2000, like this would be November 2003, when she would actually get arrested for using a stolen credit card, and that would not be good. So she ended up being and she was told by cops that if she was able to keep her behavior up for 3 months, like on good behavior, she wouldn't be charged for using stolen credit cards, but if she couldn't, then she would be charged and arrested. So you can kind of see the pressure of what this girl has gone through over these last few months, 2002 going to 2003, and even ending out 2003, a lot of pressure was on her. Now in November 2003, like I said, she was arrested and all that, and Maura's dad was able to help her in, like I said, a 3-month period. Now, on the evening of Thursday, February 5th, 2004, she was working on one of her on-campus jobs where she started to kind of, like, she went on the phone with somebody, and then she got off and just had, like, a full-on breakdown in this art gallery, and, people tried to, her coworkers tried to, like, comfort her, and she just kept repeating, my sister, my sister. But her supervisor decides to walk her back to her dorm, and that day ends. Now, on Friday, February 7th, 2009, Maura's dad would come to campus to help Maura get a new car since her old one is busted. Her dad was staying at a hotel at the time, and she actually went to a party that night with her friends and took Maura's dad, but ended up crashing Maura's dad, owing $10,000 to the car. And this was early on on Saturday, February 8th, 2004. And this was like around 3:30 in the morning. She'd come back, she'd tell her father the news, and on Sunday, February 9th, 2004, the two would talk it over and just sort out the whole car situation and, the expenses and all that. Maura's dad then drops her off back at campus, and this would be the last time Maura would ever see whatever see his daughter. Now Maura started to now it would actually show that she did a map quest for Burlington, Vermont, and she'd also did some prep for this trip. So she would early on Monday, February 10th, 2004, she sent an email to to her boyfriend and says that she will call him later, and calls a condo association in New Hampshire about basic info. Now, she then calls a nursing student and heads to bed, where on the morning of February 10th, 2004, late morning, almost into the afternoon, Maura sends an email to all her professors and work supervisors that she will be gone for a week, and that there was a family death in the family, but nobody had died. Now, she is caught on camera, on CCTV, where she's seen one final time, walking in with dark hoodie, pants, and clothing, and withdraws $280 before leaving. Maura makes a call to a hotel as well in Vermont, and then leaves a voicemail for her boyfriend and goes to pack everything in her car. She packed a map to where she was going, her school books, her childhood stuffed animal, clothing, food, DVDs, makeup, hygiene products, her wallet, phone, and keys, which would be on her person, and then also the accident reports from totaling and crashing her father's car, which she was given before her father left the day before. Now, all classes that day are canceled because it was going to be a snowstorm, and she then officially she goes to the liquor store to get booze, Cala, Bailey's, vodka, and a whole box of Franza red wine. Now, she then packs the car and officially leaves campus between 4 p.m. to 5 p.m., having told no one. She travels up 91 North and went 140 miles, makes it up to the back roads of Route 12 in the mountains of Woods Hill, New Hampshire. Around 7 p.m., a neighbor in the area heard a huge bang, which was Maura's car crashing into a red container on the side of the road, or just some rocks in the snow. The neighbor then called the police 30 minutes later. Now it took them time to get up to the mountains since they were deep in these mountains. Meanwhile, a bus driver happened to be driving on the road, saw Maura's car, and stopped and offered to call the police because she looked very distressed. She was shivering when he arrived to go up there, but she actually pleaded with him not to call the police and said that she already called AAA, but her phone records would later show that she never made a call to AAA. So, finding that strange but didn't want to bother the girl, the bus driver drove on, but by the time he got home, he found that whole exchange weird, and he decided to call the police as well. Police then made it all the way up to the mountains, but of course Maura was gone. However, though, about 5 miles, I think a few hours later into the night, somebody would report 5 miles away from the crash of Maura's car, reporting a figure in dark clothing, which matched almost what Maura was wearing on the security footage in the bank. A person in dark clothing running on the street abnormally, very almost creepily, almost even unsuperhumanly fast on the road. And that eventually was the last sight of Maura Murray. Now, when police arrived at the car, they found all the stuff I mentioned before, but they had also found that the car had been wrecked, but that there was pressure in both seats. Now, that could have been just something that Maura had in the seat, like a box or something, or it could have been somebody else, which is what the first witness, the neighbor, claimed to have seen somebody, but it was never 100% confirmed. The car also had beer, it had wine everywhere, the red, Franza wine, and also had a beer suggesting that Maura was drinking beer, or she was under the influence of alcohol that maybe caused her to crash the car. Now, the aftermath of this was obviously that they did two separate searches, one when the snow one right after and one when the snow melted, and they found nothing. Now, Maura's boyfriend, 2 days after Maura, was gone, went onto a plane, and when he landed, he had a voicemail because he put his phone on airplane mode, and he checked his voicemail, and one of these voicemails, it was 2 minutes, it was very eerie. It was basically of whimpering and then almost whining and crying, which he always, he said, and even says to this day, that he thinks that was Maura on the phone, and that somebody had recorded her. Either she recorded herself, or somebody had recorded her crying and whining. And now Maura's father, as a 2018, had said that he thinks that his youngest daughter, is dead because Maura was the youngest in her family, and Maura's case remains unsolved. Many people have said that this could have been a kidnapping. Many have said that this case could have been any sort of trafficking. It could have been a kidnapping. It could have been wrong place, wrong time. It could have been an animal attack. It could have even been as simple as her wanting to orchestrate her own disappearance, and she just wanted to get away from all the pressure of everything that happened between, her sister, which that call later on, years later, that she broke down in the art gallery for, was actually her sister who had gotten out of rehab and relapsed the same day. And that's why she said, my sister, my sister, my sister. Having all that family trouble, total into the dad's car, being seen as a disappointment in her family's eyes, put a lot of pressure on her, and then also just like the class schedule and everything like that, just put a lot of pressure on her, which could maybe make her orchestrate her own disappearance. However, though, it has been over, roughly, we can say it's been over about almost 20 years since Maura had disappeared, and we have basically found no other evidence. There were remains that were found many years later that people thought were Maura's, but when they tested them, they were actually somebody else's remains. Again, her case remains unsolved, and will probably always remain unsolved. Hopefully, this family does get closure, but right now, as it looks, this case looks like it's going to be a cold case for a while. Anyway, guys, that is the case of Maura Murray. Let me know in the comments below what you guys think your theories are on the case. Or make sure, again, you guys follow us on Spotify at ASMT Investigates the Podcast with me, Nick, and my co-host, Joe. Thank you guys so much for watching ASMT Investigates, the YouTube channel with the case of Maura Murray. Like, subscribe, turn on the notification bell, and we'll see you for another video. Goodbye.